Hello, everyone. How are you? Thank you so very much for taking the time to do this junket today. It means a lot to many of us who are stuck in the house, just
Oh,
like yourselves.
thank you so much for helping us get the word out. I mean, this has
Yeah.
actually been a really weirdly beautiful time to be taking the show out because, as tragic as it is, as difficult as it is, there's a reconnection with the core values, the things you really care about. And, just this human connection is kind of, you're realizing how important it actually is. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem. So Dana, I'll actually start with you then. I know of your work. It's very heavily in comedy movies. uh, why the leap over to mystery television show? And
you
what were the
know, for
challenges?
for me, I have always been a person who thought that all comedy was just firmly rooted in pain, and I sort of assumed that was what it was like for other people. I very much think as a child, I had a great family. They're lovely, but there's always hard times when you're a kid and you're growing up and your parents are pissed or something bad is happening. And my way of handling it was always to use comedy to try to diffuse tension. I was like, if I tap dance and make you guys laugh, maybe you won't get a divorce. So that was kind of where I developed my sense of humor. So for me, I always thought the funniest things were movies where the people just took themselves really seriously, and that it was that attitude that was funny to watch, not that I was trying to be funny, because I'm not that funny. Like, I mean, I'm all right. I'm okay, but I'm
You're
not like a
funny.
joke.
Come on. Come on.
I'm okay. I'm all right. But I'm not like a joke writer. I'm not like set up, pay up, blah, blah, blah. I'm much more interested in human behavior. So for me, that is that's what my movies were always about in my mind. Um, and then I would see them and I'd be like, oh, so it's like, I guess just grab your popcorn and you're supposed to laugh. I don't know. So I always wanted to explore these sort of darker themes. My personal interests, I'm fun. I love to laugh. I love funny stuff. But in my spare time, I listen to like super dark murder podcasts, bingey true crime stuff I'm really obsessed with. And so I was trying to do like my Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours of that. And then I wanted to do this show that takes this girl incredibly seriously. I was inspired by movies like E.T. and Close Encounters and Jaws, and those were the movies I grew up on, and so that was what was sort of in my bones. And I just always kind of wished I saw one that had a little girl at the center of it. And I didn't want to hit you over the head with it. I just thought, well, it's her turn. Like, let's go, let's do this thing. So that was really inspiring to me. And then I combined forces with Dara Resnick, who's done a lot of procedural mystery stuff. So that was incredibly helpful. And I just always stuck with the central premise of plot is character. There is no such thing as plot in my world. I don't care about it. I only care about character. So I'm only ever going to approach plot from the standpoint of character. And that was actually kind of easy to just kind of move over into a different genre. And luckily, I joined forces with the amazing Jon M, who can make an incredible tone that you've never seen before actually happen visually. So
All right. That's a great segue over to Mr.
Thanks.
John. How are
I
you?
like it. I'm very good. Very good.
It's odd seeing you on the other side of my computer screen as opposed to in person. Like
I
we've met
know.
multiple times before.
Now you're in my home. We're just
Yeah.
chilling in my random corner of my house.
So, John, I've told you this many times that we've spoken. I'm always impressed with what you're able to do, whether it's
Thank you.
a big screen adaptation of like an action figure.
Yes.
I was the guy who admitted to you I think last year or the year before, that I like Gem and the Holograms.
Nice. Thank you.
you don't
So
have to be ashamed of that, man.
no, I'm not. No, I'm
Like,
not. Listen,
let's be out
listen.
and proud about that.
Listen, I was at the junket for that movie, and I felt so bad for John because I read the reviews as the junket was going on, and I was like, oh
It's
my
That's
true.
the
God.
problem. You can't read reviews, my friend. It's too scary.
That's
Don't
true.
just la
That's
la la
true.
la.
But
Well,
that experience really jolted me and really reaffirmed like what stories I want to choose and why I'm doing it. And for me, Gem, whatever it did with reviewers or numbers, it didn't. At that point, it really tested me. Like, am I doing this for the right reasons? And it allowed me to choose projects like Crazy Rich Asians, like In the Heights, and like this one, that no matter what happens, it doesn't matter because we're putting something in the world that is supposed to be out there about a little girl journalist who is here to save the adults, which represents a whole generation of young ladies who are here to save us. And I love that, and it's really changed my life. That experience to be firm in the types of stories that I want to tell, and no matter what happens, and has given me actually a lot of confidence that I need to say stories that only I can bring to the screen, and add to the conversation that's being had right now.
That's awesome. And they're telling me to wrap already, which is
no,
very
it's
much
fast.
just like a regular junket where I feel like I didn't get to ask
is.
any question. But hey, it was great talking to both of you, although very briefly. Big fan of the show. I can't wait to continue watching, and congrats on season 2.
Thank you.
so
We're excited
much.
for people
Great meeting
to
you.
find the show. It's all on Apple TV right now. Everyone's binging it, so it's great. And thanks for having us.
Good. See you soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye.